here we go. Back again. Alright. And today is Friday. So yeah, it is the Friday fix. But as I record this, it is actually about 11:30 at night. So by the time that this is uploaded, it will indeed be Saturday. But hey, better late than never, right? And when I think of this being late, it reminds me of one of my uncles who came to visit me when I was run over by a Freemason, nonetheless, who pulled a few strings on the very day that he nearly took my life, right? But that's another story. But my uncle, who used to come and visit me in Aberdeen Children's Hospital when I got run over, I remember it was about February, and he was still giving out Christmas cards to people that he hadn't had a chance to see. So yeah, I guess that's life, but not as we know it, right? And the Friday fix, of course, is me covering topics of interest from throughout the week in terms of the media, right? Which is, of course, where we get our deception, right? And I believe this is the 22nd episode, right? But don't hold me to that, because I haven't checked, right? But hey, we'll just go with it. And to begin with, we will touch on lockdowns. It's fucking lockdown central here in the UK. And as you can see, it's Saint Nick, right? The fucking hero. Sure, Scotland plans England-like tiered system, but with 2 extra levels. Right, so anything you can do, fucking Saint Nick can do better. And this is the guy here, Professor Jason Leach. This guy, he's a dentist. A fucking dentist, right? And the only thing he has a degree in is dentistry. But of course, he also works for the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. But hey, that's just a coincidence. There's nothing untoward there, right? Sure. And this guy, he's being called the Grinch in Scotland. Because, of course, in Scotland, they are now telling us that we need to prepare or plan, as you can see, for a virtual Christmas away from loved ones. Right, well, they can take that and ram it in the exact same place as the fucking vaccine, right? Because I can tell you now, this will not happen. People will just say no, and so they should. Everyone should just say no. Go and see your loved ones. Don't leave them alone. As you can see, Scots have been told to prepare for one of the hardest periods of your life this winter and to plan for virtual Christmas celebrations. Right. And yeah, it sure is 1984 on steroids. That is for sure. And it will most likely be right across the UK, as you can see. 14 hours ago, Cape News, virtual Christmas parade approved in Falmouth. Wow! So they're going to have a virtual Christmas parade. And yeah, how does that work? I guess that's the future, right? Because as we do know, that is what the future is. VR future. And this is from The Sun, who I detest. I honestly cannot stand them. 1 hour ago. And this is in regards to, once again, they are now covering up non-essential items. And no, you cannot buy your child a birthday present that's not essential anymore. And yeah, welcome to 2020, right? And I seen this from The Guardian, the Bill Gates Guardian even. Facebook moderators forced to work in Dublin office despite high tiered level. Right, So obviously, the virus, it doesn't get Facebook moderators, right? They can't pass it about, right? They're safe. The virus knows not to get them. This is how smart the virus is. And in Scotland, you're not allowed mixing with other people's households, which we have touched on. And I'd imagine that will only get worse. They will probably bring in the curfew. So yeah, look out for that, right? And of course, it's all about the vaccine. This is where it's all sort of funneling down to, because yeah, that's what everyone wants for Christmas, like me and you, right? Sure. And I did see this unfortunate story. And as you can see, Daily Mail, volunteer in AstraZeneca's coronavirus vaccine trial dies in Brazil. Right, so this Brazilian doctor, he died after taking part in the vaccine trial. Now, if you read the story, it tells you that this guy didn't have the vaccine. So he had the placebo, right? He never had the actual vaccination. So I did see some people commenting on the article saying that, well, that's fine because he had the placebo, not the vaccine. So the vaccine's safe. Well, no, it's fucking not. And all this proves is that if you are going to inoculate yourself with any chemical whatsoever, you really are dicing with fucking death, right? I shit you not. And that's all that proves. And it's not just the CONVID vaccine that has been in the news. You know this, I see some YouTubers scared to even say the word vaccine or the word coronavirus. I have even seen some YouTubers scared to say the word lockdown, right? And do not accept that. Do not acquiesce. Say what you fucking want to say, straight up, right? But like I did say, it's not just the coronavirus, the CONVID vaccine that has been in the news this week, cause the flu vaccine, it's made an appearance as well. Would you believe it, right? As you can see, Daily Mail, 2 days ago, 5 people die after getting flu shots in South Korea, sparking vaccine fears. Right, then 1 day ago, the Bill Gates Guardian, doctors in South Korea call for flu vaccinations to be paused after 25 deaths. Right, 2 days ago again, Independent, South Korean authorities downplay vaccine fears after 9 people die. Right, so it's between 8 or 25 people that seemingly died in South Korea. But of course, it will have nothing to do with the flu jab. Sure. And this is from the Metro today. So yeah, happy days. The Oxford coronavirus vaccine, it works as expected. Hip hip hooray. Right? And 2 days ago, the New York Times, to test coronavirus vaccines, UK study will intentionally infect volunteers. And we did cover this, I think it was in the last Friday Fix, where we covered these human challenge trials where they inoculate volunteers with the virus. That is how they give people a virus. They inject it into them straight up. And we knew this was coming no matter what happened in the early trials. And as you can see, this is a government press release from the UK top dogs, right? And yeah, they are going to put, would you believe it? Would you Adam and fucking Eve it, right? 33.6 million. Wow. Now, yeah, that's evidently just a random number that they plucked out of thin air. Sure. And yeah, we will leave CONVID for the time being. Well, not really, actually, because, yeah, I wanted to touch on the empty hospitals during a pandemic, of course, because I did mention, I have made a couple of videos on empty hospitals, and yeah, would you believe it? They're still fucking empty, right? So I think I will make again another series, possibly a 3-part series on empty hospitals, because yeah, it's right across the world. And the question really is, where is the pandemic? Right? Still can't see it. Still waiting. Still sitting here waiting on the first fucking wave. And I seen this tweet. A source just gave me the following information. A hospital in Wales has 250 beds. 200 beds are empty. The surgeons are bored and pass much of their time playing golf. Right, that's what they're doing. And they're basically golfing away their jobs, or the future jobs at hospitals, or dancing away. As you can see, the nurses are still dancing on TikTok because, hey, it's a pandemic, right? So you need to be dancing on TikTok, sure. And yeah, hospitals right across the world, medical centres, these places that people need are closing everywhere. And it's right across the world. And if you do have a medical condition, make sure that you are catered for, because they're closing everywhere. And even the ones that are still open are basically closed. And I know that through my own experience, because my youngest son, Billy, who is a cancer survivor, he still gets checkups and scans. So when we got in touch with the hospital, they made us aware on the phone that they now operate under a closed door policy, right? So if you haven't got an appointment, you can fucking forget it. Don't bother going to the hospital, because they will simply turn you away, right? So I would advise, if you have any medical conditions, to try your best to stay up to date with what is happening with your local medical centre. But of course, like I did say, they are golfing and dancing their jobs away, because the future for doctors is virtual. Like fucking everything else, it is heading to a virtual reality, and that will be how you visit your doctor. It'll be a virtual call to probably a fucking AI doctor. Now, I also wanted to touch on this track and trace, right? The famous track and trace. The ever trustworthy track and trace. Sure. So yeah, this is in terms of the UK. Test and trace consultants paid £7,000 a day rates by government. Now, these consultants, they are friends of the government. This is what this is. The track, like I have said, the track and trace is set up to fail, right? These companies know this. So it doesn't even matter if it works. They still get the money. They will still get paid. That is for sure. And then eventually they run away with their money and the system fails. And of course we all, well, fucking not us, that's for sure, but the sheep end up on the Google and Apple, Bill Gates track and trace app, right? And 2 weeks ago, as you can see, fixed track and trace to keep the UK open. So if we get track and trace, we can open the UK. Well, no, because Dido Harding, the boss of 12 billion tracing scheme, says it was never a silver bullet. Ain't that a surprise? So yeah, they've blown 12 fucking billion on this track and trace system, and it is indeed a complete and utter failure. But fear not, 4 days ago, London Loves Business, right? Improving incentives for people to use track and trace apps is key, right? So they're going to entice the sheep in. So yeah, I'd imagine they could possibly say that they could offer money. That's usually how they get people, because again, people either have no choice or they just like money, right? So that's one way to always get the sheep, offer money, and they come flocking. And just finally today, I did see this, and we touched on this a few months back, where it looked like they will eventually say that CONVID is in the water, right? And they are now testing sewage sites even in the UK. And my friend Mark Scott, Windows on the World, I seen it on his Facebook, and I highly, highly, highly recommend Mark's YouTube channel, which is called Windows on the World. It is a fantastic channel, and Mark really, really does. He is great at researching certain topics, especially in terms of the agenda. So yeah, if you can, if not already even, go across and show your support to Windows on the World. Anyway, that is it for this week's Friday Fix. I will be back on Sunday with Meme of the Week, and then I think we are up to date and on schedule, right? Would you Adam and Eve it? Anyway, enjoy your weekend. Get out if you can. Have a bit of fun. Enjoy yourself. Do not wear a mask, right? And thank you to everyone, old and new subscribers, and everyone that engages with the channel. Great stuff. Anyway, that is about it. Bye-bye.